put it, stupid snake bug. If you put this, but it's stupid snake bug. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be learning about Parawedge anchor systems. Now, I will say that previous to me buying this one, I've never heard it called that. We always just call them thunder studs. But that's what we mean right there. I mentioned it before. I said I probably wouldn't do a video, and yet here I am. So we want to talk a little bit about this anchor system. I may do a fast video on it. I want to talk a little in depth about this anchor. It's a pretty good anchor. You know, I used a lot of them over my years, so just another system to use. Now, this particular one is 3/8 by 3 inch. The bit that you need to drill in, whether it's a SDS, hammer drill, just a regular drill, whatever, masonry, it's got to be 3/8. Okay, this particular one is 3 inches long. Now, you have to have enough. I'm gonna go ahead and open it now. You have to have enough depth on your bit for this to sink in. All right, so I think the minimum, let's see if the minimum, it says it on here. Yes, it says the minimum is 2 1/4 inches. All right, this is a 3-inch bolt, so you have to go a minimum of 2 1/4. So we'll mark it on our bit when we drill it in so we know. Now, this is 3 inch. Now keep in mind, you have to keep in mind what you're using, whether it's a 2x4, whether it's a piece of strut, whether it's a piece of furniture, whether it's a piece of metal, whatever it is. You need enough bolt sticking up so when you put your nut and your washer on it, you actually have something to grab onto, all right? Because that's pretty important. Because without that, well, it ain't gonna work. So for this one, would this work on a 2x4? Think about it. I have 3 inches here. All right, and I have to have a minimum of 2 1/4 inches. So think about that while I'm talking about this. Now, it also says that if you put it, stupid snake bug. So it says on the package, it's good for 761 pounds pulling out. So if you're pulling it out of the wall, or if you're using it on the wall and you're hanging something down, it's good for 420 pounds with 3,000 pounds PSI Concretia. That's Lucretia's sister, if you don't remember. You can see it right there. Now, like I mentioned, these are called Parawedge anchors. We've always called them thunder studs. So we know that we have to go a minimum of 2 1/4. So we will have to get a tape measure for this one because it is kind of important. So we know we're going to have to go 2 1/4 inch minimum depth, right? Because that's pretty important this go around. So let's look and see. 2 1/4. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll measure down here 2 1/4, and I will put a piece of tape on it. And what do I always say about the piece of tape when you put it on? Leave an end for a friend. Now, that's just the minimum. You can go a little deeper. Ooh, I didn't leave an end for a friend almost. Guys, you gotta watch me a little closer. All right, so I got it set. I've got the anchor ready. I'm gonna flip the camera down here. We're gonna see what it looks like when you stick it in here real quick. And I'm gonna pound her in. I'm taking her straight to Pound Town. All right, as usual, got the old broken block. Now, if you wanna know why this block is broken, there's a video on that. So you need to watch it. All right, so let's go ahead and let's put this in about right here. We'll go ahead and drill it in, and I'll show you how to install it. All right, now this one's got to be kind of critical, so we're going to look. We got a little bit more right there. Boom. All right, so that is the correct depth we need to be. Now, what I like to do on all of these kinds of pound-in anchors, it has a flat spot on it, so it's going to take a beating, but I still prefer to always leave the nut on the top. Right flush with it. It's not going to hurt anything. That way you have an extra, first of all, you have a bigger head to hit. And it's not going to potentially screw the threads up. So we'll put this in like this. All right, and we will go ahead and sort of pound her down. All right, you'll know when it bottoms out. So now, you can see now if I put a 2x4 here, you have 1.5 inches sticking up. So let's see how much I have sticking up. You guys should have known, right? Would this have worked with the 2x4 like I mentioned? I asked that question. The answer is, come on. No, you have 1.25 inches sticking up, roughly. So, these come with a washer. Now, even though it's not completely set yet, by the time you set it, it still probably will not, and I'm not going to say 100% not, but I'm going to say probably not. You will not be able to use it with a 2x4. Now, I don't have an open-end wrench, so we'll just use this, and we will make sure that we set this, because that is importante. And what happens is, I'll show you on the other one that I have. All right. Now, what happens is with this anchor, I bought 2 of them, and next week you'll see why. But what happens is when you start cranking down on your nut right here, this wedge right here, or this collar, sleeve, whatever you want to call it, will go down, go down, go down, and it'll go up, and it'll catch on this wedge. As you see, it's kind of funnel shaped, and that will create a very stout, and I mean a very stout bolt. Now, let's say you bought it way too long, and let's say you're putting this, for instance, and you have all that bolt sticking up for a tripping hazard. Well, you don't want that. So all you gotta do is just cut it off with a Sawzall or a Portaman or whatever, because it's not gonna hurt anything. As long as you got it seated in there, you're fine. So we'll take this back off. Really easy anchor. Same goes with this. You kind of got to be exactly where it needs to be. You want to make sure that when you stick it in there, you mark it good. One shot, one deal, basically. You're not getting it back out. Now you can take your hammer and you can pound both sides of it, break the concrete, and you can get it back out, of course. But if I were you, I'd just cut it off with a Sawzall, pound it on down in there, and leave it. Cover back over if you had to. So, unless you're just hell-bent and you want to get it out, that's fine too. Now, I did mention about this block. Now, this block has been in several of my videos, and it was intact at one time, and I broke it on a video. Now, I'm not sure exactly which video that is, but you can check right here in this corner, and one of the videos that's there, and maybe that one, you have to look, you can see me breaking this block. Pretty crazy. So, if you want to see what happens next, make sure you like and subscribe. Click on that video, guys. All links to everything will be down in the description. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.